Hi, everyone. I'm Chetan, Vice President and CMO for IBM Asia Pacific. Today, in our Reinvent and Refresh episode, we have an extremely exciting and extremely senior guest from Indonesia, Mr. Wahyudi Chandra, President and Director of PT Multipolar Technology Indonesia. Wahyudi, thank you, sir, for joining us today. It's fantastic to have you on this discussion with us here. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to be in this recording. So we really appreciate it, and especially on the business and relationship between our two companies that span more than 20 years, because we are one of your early partner in Indonesia since 1986.
Fantastic, fantastic to know. I think we're going to talk a little bit with you, Vayudi, a lot more about digital transformation, about the economy, hybrid cloud. How do you see all of this coming together, right? So thank you and welcome again. So before we get into the details, you have a very interesting logo for your company. It's a jaguar. Actually, my son's favorite animal. He always talks about the jaguar. Why jaguar? Like, what was the thinking behind adopting that as your logo?
Yeah. So actually, we used to start this logo when we do the spin-off from our currently holding companies, another multipolar. So for us, Jaguar symbolism of the leadership, strength, agility, and dynamism. We start our company in 1975 as an electronic retailer. And along the way, we transform ourselves to what we are now. And leading system integrator company, we expand into the IT outsourcing managed services. One time, we also have the data center. Now, we want to go to the next frontier where we establish three new companies that focus on the digital. One in the financial, one in the healthcare, and one in the third-party processing. So this one, along with IBM, we use some of the IBM technology stack in our journey. And so far, besides selling to our customer, we also start to adopt it. So I think IBM is a unique partner for us here. Both of us
Yeah, no,
have a very exciting journeys together, I can say. Yeah.
fantastic, fantastic, Park. Thank you. And it's really nice that the logo coming in, how you described scale, and how you evolved as a company fits beautifully. A little bit about yourself. I understood you went to Trishakti University back in the day, and I think your first job was actually in a bank. How do you see the entire landscape having evolved since you graduated, and how you've kind of also evolved along the way? Right, the market has changed. How do you see all of this from your eyes and your lens?
Yeah, actually, when I start working as in the bank as the user, actually, but after that I decided to move to multipolar until now. So the IT landscape is changed rapidly, lah. Even and recently because of the pandemic and also digital transformation, it's really changed. Before, as your partner, we only resell. Now, along with your strategy, we also start for service and build. So it's really changed. Now the IT is not feel as an investment, but more on the enabler for the
Yeah,
business to be relevant, to agile, and also to accelerate the growth.
yeah.
So it's really changed. Before it's capex, now it's opex. Before it's very silo, now it's already open. So it's really changed.
I think you kind of summed it up very clearly, right? Open, how it's become more agile, how the business models have changed, and beautifully put. And as you said, I think IBM and Multipolar, I think there's been a strong partnership over the years. How have you seen this partnership change? I think you talked about the adoption of technology and so on. How have you seen this change over the years since you've been at the helm in terms of leading this charter from Multipolar?
Yeah, actually, I also very honored to become one of your global BPEC advisory council. So we regularly meet and also heard directly from Arvin. So I think IBM go to the right way to become the platform and technology company to enable business in this digital transformation, focus on their customer, providing flexibility for them to do the transaction when, where, and how they want to do it. So now the challenge now to go to the partners like us. So we need to align with you. How we align ourselves to be relevant, not only resell like I said before, but also to start to build and service. Now we need to relook our business strategy, not only as SI, but also now becoming more on the consultation, do the outsourcing or run the business for our customers. So I think now the challenge is starting.
I think you've kind of linked everything from the beginning all the way, right? From the way your logo is set up to how you're actually continuously transforming, adopting platforms, innovation, digital transformation, and then as you rightly said, doing it for your clients so that they can actually focus on their business, where IT becomes the key enabler for transformation. I also understand, Wahyudi, other than the big role that you already play, you're also president commissioner, I think, at PT Automoto Prima International. You're also commissioner at VDI, and you also are, doing a lot of work, obviously, in MSA. How, because, it's a fast growing market, right? Indonesia. And then I think you have a broad view of this market. From an industry lens, how do you see banking, financial services, manufacturing, some of these industries adopting platforms and technology, to your point, as they, create value for their end clients? How are you seeing that happening from an industry lens?
Yeah, I think from multipolar. Like I said previously, we want to have the end-to-end solution to our customer, from the system integration, IT outsourcing, managed services, data center before, and now we also established 3 new companies that play in this digital things. And then what I see in the market, actually most industry, not only banks, retail, and other industry need to adopt this digital transformation. They need to transform their self. They need to connect to the platform economy. As well, they need the partner to run it, helping them to focus on the core business, like you said before. So now, I think it's a very interesting time for both of Multipolar and IBM, and also our other leading principals to work together more closely and bring collective value to our end users. Because nowadays, it's not as one simple solution. It's a very connected solution. And we need the parties to work collaboratively to provide that one to the customer. While the other hand, what I see actually, the government, especially Indonesia, also react very positively and do some initiative to push this going forward. Because Indonesia is a very big market with the potential huge, where most of the IT companies or platform companies now go to Indonesia and partnering with the locals to address this market.
Fantastic perspective. I think it's, it's bringing it together, underpinning it, creating value, and also helping companies run their, businesses while you actually take, that, the critical function for making them successful. Thanks a lot. No, it is really, really interesting, Vahyudi. Thanks a lot again for joining us, right? And as we close, one last question for you. You're a very senior leader. You've seen so many different roles, so many dimensions, and so many different perspectives. Any advice from to some of the folks listening? Anything on leadership, technology, business models? Anything that comes to mind that people can take away and learn from your experiences?
Actually, maybe one keywords only. It's a partnership. Now, partnership is really important now. It must be mutual, transparency, and willing to support each other along the journey. Because the challenging ahead is very unclear, volatility, maybe some teams call it VUCA, But I think with a partnership, good collaboration, I think together we could pass it and bring the business to the next level.
Yeah, I love it. Fantastic. And I think with that, the one key word here, I think, is partnership. And as you said, trust. So thank you again, Vahyudi. Really appreciate the time. Really appreciate your partnership and you joining us here. Really enjoyed this conversation. I learned a lot. I think it'll be very useful for everyone who listens to take away this key market and our partnership together. Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining us. Really appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.